Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another one of my videos here. Wanted to get into a subject that is kind of within a popular subject itself. What I'm going to speak to isn't necessarily the popular thing, but it's wrapped within what's become kind of like a popular thing going on around nowadays. I wanted to ask a question based on the way things are looking with this whole new style of being single out here, where people are more engaged in being distant, people are more engaged in being side pieces, people are into kind of like wanting to chill with somebody but not wanting to be in a traditional style of a relationship, it seems like. I don't know, it's just weird out here now. But my question was, because I was having some conversations here and there with different people, and when fellas talk and we start having rapping about certain stuff, I've been kind of noticing a thing, and it made me want to ask this question about what's going on out here. And that question is, where is the incentive for the good guy out here? And what makes why should a guy still want to be a good guy out here? And I asked that question from the masculine perspective. I'm very sure that there are things within the feminine aspect of things where there is a a counterpoint to that, or a woman's version of the same question. But again, I can only ask as a man. So again, I want to know, where's the incentive to be a good guy? And what I mean by a good guy is, my breakdown of being a good guy is not necessarily being a nice guy. Not the nice guys finish last nice guy. The guy that's going to be, entrenched in this dogma attitude of being a nice guy, of being a chivalrous person and stuff like that. A good guy is a good guy. A good guy is somebody who exhibits those behaviors and stuff like that. But to me, the difference between a good guy and a nice guy is that a good guy will adapt if need be. A good guy will say, well, you know what? This ain't working. So I'm going to have to play the field the way the field is set up. A nice guy will continue to stay entrenched in his beliefs of saying, you know what, man, I can't not be a nice guy. Good guys are nice guys in a particular format, but good guys will adapt to a situation. The difference being that they would prefer not to have to do that. And again, I've had conversations with fellas, man, and they're like, it's real whack the way I have to kind of navigate through this now. But if I'm not doing a certain thing or being a certain way, I'm not getting the same type of vibe. And they notice when they do certain things in certain ways, they get attention that they're seeking. Now again, this attention is still very much temporary. I don't want to say shallow, but it's temporary. It's not building towards something meaningful. You're still playing the field, but you're doing it in a way that you really prefer not to do it, because you're not seeing the qualities being presented and put outwardly that you're looking for from women. And I'm thinking that a lot of that is a lot of people who've, once you get to a certain stage and a certain age, you get a certain level of cynicism in your psyche and all that, you don't want to show that, because you equate that to being vulnerable. You correlate that to being soft. If you're a dude and you're really trying to look for somebody meaningful, but if you put it out there in that way, you're either gonna get looked at as soft or a nice guy, and you don't want to necessarily get put in that kind of category of being, kindness equals weakness category. So from the feminine perspective, though, it's more of a quandary as to how are we supposed to find these types of qualities And women, if they're so bent on not giving up any weaknesses anymore, like you put up walls and you put up fronts and stuff like that, you know. So again, where's the incentive to remain a nice guy? You wanna say, yeah, well, my qualities will win out in the end, but in the meantime, time is going by, and that's not something that you could get back. And for how long? You're talking about, you're talking about an amount of time that you can't equate. You don't know how long it's going to take. So it's like, do you play the field the way that it's set up, and at least, yeah, I guess the expression having a little bit of something is better than nothing in the meantime, or do you stick to your ethics to the degree where you got to be basically like celibate or something, And again, once you get to a certain stage, you don't want to just sacrifice years that you're not getting back, on the strength of maintaining some type of honor code and moral ethic code, So I want to know, talk back to me on this one. What's the incentive for the good guy? Because the good guys are wondering, man, we're out here. We're just trying to find some incentive out here. And the way this whole setup is nowadays, who are you really giving your effort to? It feels like there's this whole setup where the game is to get as much as you can from somebody while at the same time giving up as little as possible. And when it's like that, there's no equivalent exchange going on. And if you feel like, if it feels like a whole bunch of take and not give, a good guy is just going to be like, you know what, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do what I do, even though it's not what I would prefer. Because you can't do nothing, because it feels like a waste of your time and your youth or your whatever, your good years. So what's the incentive for the good guy? Tell me something. Thank you.